Trustees meeting. Today is Thursday. The 25th, the second day of school. Thank you, teachers. As a courtesy to others, we ask everyone to silence their phones as we move forward in our agenda. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 6 o'clock. Could we please have the roll call?
Quinones,
Here.
Medina,
Here.
Liker,
Here.
Esparza,
Here.
Lopez Aguino.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, if everyone would please join us, we're going to go ahead and do the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for joining us. Now we'll move on to item 2, trustees, changes in the agenda. At this time, trustees or executive team members may recommend changing the order of agenda items and or request that an item from the consent calendar be placed within the discussion action section of the board meeting. The secretary will keep track of any recommendations. Please note, no new items may be added without advance public notice. Is there any changes to the agenda this evening, trustees?
Yes. I'm not exactly sure how this works, but I was wondering if I can pull an item from the consent calendar. But it wouldn't be for discussion. It would be for like to postpone for a future meeting. Is that something that I
You
can?
want to pull an item off the agenda?
Yeah, but to
What
bring
i-
it for another meeting.
What item number? letter?
It's the housing crisis proclamation.
Superintendent?
That's item C.
Okay, we had a request to pull item C from the agenda this evening and table it to next month?
Correct.
Perfect, to next month. Do we have an agreement on that? Everybody say yay? Hey. I don't hear anybody. Okay, all right, we have consent there, Superintendent, to pull item C. In addition to that, do we have any other changes to the agenda? Okay, trustees, I would like you to move on to general functions, item D, governance documents, and pull that. And move that to make it number 1 under business services. That would be number 1 above A. And if you go to the next page, item D, which is governance documents, not the whole item, but just item, no, this is the whole item, sorry. Governance document, the whole item. Then we move on to human resources, W, and this would only be for the MOU dual immersion agreement. So having said that, I would like to go back up to our business services and place D and W at the end of our business services after C, which would be now D and W.
May I please repeat that?
Wait a minute. No, D and W. Just W at the end. So D would be number 1 above in business services above A. D D is governance documents. And then the last under business services would be W, only the MOU with language, dual language. MOU. And that would be after C. Okay, we're good? Okay, so we move on to approval of the meeting agenda as amended. We're going to approve as amended the July 25th, 2024 regular board meeting as amended. May I have a motion?
We move to approve.
You a second?
I'll second that.
Perfect. All those in favor? Aye.
Yes.
Well, let's just call for the vote because we always do that. Thank you, Ms. Cooper.
Esparza,
Yes.
Liker,
Yes.
Lopez Aguino,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Quinones.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you, Ms. Cooper, for always being there. I appreciate you. We're moving on to item 4, communication to the Board of Trustees. 5-minute limit per group. I'd like to recognize our someone in the public that has joined us this evening group. Her name is Marty Emerald. She is a trustee in the Sweetwater High School, and she is our representative. We're going to, Marty, we're going to go to comments from groups first. Yeah, and then we'll call you. But I wanted to recognize that you are in the house. So thank you so much for coming. Okay, so we'll go on to our 5-minute limit per group. First up would be South Bay PTA Council. Welcome.
Good evening, President Quinones, Superintendent Espinosa, board members, administrative team, and community members. Welcome back to a new school year. I know it's the second day. I apologize for missing the last 2 meetings. June is just kind of a blur. It was a crazy month for me. So I do apologize for not being at these meetings. I am pleased to report that we have executive boards at every school site to begin the new school year. I'm inviting you now, if you haven't done so already, to join a PTA in the areas you represent. You should have received a reminder email from Totem if you joined electronically. I know I got all of mine. As always, you are welcome to join all of the PTAs, but at least one in the area you represent would be greatly appreciated. We more than doubled our membership last year, ending with 1,317 members, the most we've had for a very long time. South Bay rocks. Since PTA is a child advocacy organization, there is power in numbers. When we speak to legislators regarding school funding, vaping laws, and other issues concerning children, it helps to speak on behalf of many voices. We are looking forward to joining the festivities on Saturday at the Mendoza Welcoming Families Back to School. I sent the flyer to all of our unit board members, asking them to share with as many parents as possible. I'm hoping for a really good turnout. I will have information at our table regarding the Reflections program, which we will be launching soon. The theme this year is Accepting Imperfections. I am looking forward to seeing what our many talented students create in the strands of visual and performing arts. If you are not familiar with Reflections, it is a student-driven program to show their creativity in any of the 6 strands of the VPA. Students are given a theme, and they represent that theme in any way that sparks their imagination. Artwork is judged at local levels, 9th district, state, and national levels. I have some samples that I brought of past entries. We had, this one was Look Within, and it was very striking because what people saw on the outside was very different from the way they felt within. This was another painting that a student did. Sorry, they're not larger pictures. We had a student who does macrame, that kind of art, and did it on canvas, which was very interesting. And then we have kindergartners who can draw little things that spark their imagination. So art is for everyone. I enjoy this program immensely. I'm a big supporter. So I will be looking forward to sharing it with our principals, and our units will be bringing it to your school sites, hopefully. Finally, I would like to thank you all for your continued support of our PTAs. Our district has the best reputation for working with supporting our PTAs by allowing us time to report what we are doing on your agenda every month. Most districts don't have that. So thank you for including us as partners in our students' educational journey.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your report this evening. Moving on to California School Employees Association, Chapter 59, CSCA. Welcome.
Hi. We're just in the middle of negotiations. We don't really have any updates right now. The drivers for the,
You want to pull that microphone towards, yeah, here we go. Can hear you.
Oh, okay, that works really well. The drivers for the South Bay Union School District Transportation Department recently signed their forms. Some of them accepted the 8 hours, some of them decided to stay at 6. And so that's the only update I really have for you right now, except we will be having a welcome back party, a CSCA party in September to be updated.
Perfect. Thank you so much for coming this evening and giving a report. Moving on to Southwest Teachers Association, SWATA. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Good evening, trustees, colleagues, parents, and community members. Welcome back. I hope you had the opportunity to rest, relax, re-energize, and rejuvenate for this new school year. Over the past few weeks, Melissa Griffith and Tom Belavacqua and myself have had multiple conversations regarding student enrollment and staffing concerns within SBUSD. SWATA is deeply troubled by the district's apparent disregard for students as individuals, treating them instead as mere numbers. Decisions such as creating combination classes when sufficient enrollment exists for separate classes and overcrowding classrooms to meet class size limits directly contradicts the best interest of our students. If our ultimate goal is student success, we must shift our focus to decisions that prioritize their needs and well-being. I urge you to look into that. This past week, I had the opportunity to visit Mendoza, Central, and Berry schools. Thank you to Principal Vasquez and Salazar for the opportunity to support your schools on the first day of school. I was able to visit to assist with students transitioning to classrooms and connect with families whose children were absent on the first day of school. I also appreciate Principal Presapio for the tour of Berry School and sharing the exciting work happening there. I look forward to visiting all schools to connect with staff, students, and administrators during my release time. As we begin this new academic year, let's strive for excellence in all that we do. Let's challenge ourselves to find joy, justice, and excellence in education. Let's reignite our passion for teaching by nurturing our joy and inspiring a love of learning in our students. Let's reconnect with our core values and the reason we chose this profession. Together, we will build a school community rooted in justice. Every student deserves equitable access to a neighborhood school that provides the resources and opportunities to thrive. Let's create a space where everyone feels supported and empowered to succeed. Remember, greatness isn't about perfection. It's about striving to be our best. Let's uplift each other and celebrate excellence in every form we can. As we enter the classrooms filled with eager minds, remember the profound impact that we have on shaping lives and creating lifelong learners. Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent report. Thank you so much for coming. Moving on to our district superintendent. Good evening, superintendent. Welcome to our meeting.
Okay, good evening, board, and welcome back to our first meeting of the school year. I'd like to report that we have had a great start to the year so far. We had a district kickoff where we were joined by a special guest who I believe really was able to connect with a lot of our staff and really was to Ms. Barrera's point was really able to bring out, you know, why we are all in education in the first place. It is about our students. So that was a very good kickoff, a good way to kick off the year. I'd also like to invite the community to our community kickoff, which will be held this Saturday at Mendoza Elementary from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're going to have some workshops for parents. We're going to have a lot of community resources. I hear that we're offering free haircuts. We're going to have some lunch. And it's going to be a really good event too. And we're going to have supplies, school supplies for students as well. So it's a really good event, really good way to start the school year. One of the shifts that we made with this event, last year we had it the weekend before school started. And we found that moving it to the weekend after school started, the Saturday after school started, was going to help us get the word out to our families a little better. So hopefully we're joined by a lot of our families at that event. Again, Mendoza Elementary, 10 to 2 this Saturday. Hope to see everybody there. And my next item, as I have said previously, one of the key factors of a successful school system is the effectiveness of its governance team. I am grateful that we have a board that is committed to our work and has established a mission and vision for our team. I commend you for your dedication and for all the time that you spend not only at meetings, but in professional development and in preparing for your board service. CSBA's Masters in Governance program equips local education agencies with the knowledge and skills to build and support an effective governance structure. The program is comprised of 5 courses covering topics from student learning and achievement to advocacy. It is my pleasure to congratulate Trustee Lopez Aguino on completing the program. If you would join me on the podium, please. I will present you with your certificate, a pen, and a badge signifying that you are an alumnus of the CSBA Masters in Governance program. Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations. It's a lot of hours and a lot of coursework. So congratulations. And as we move on, we're going to our number 5, public comments on non-agenda items. Public comments. The board will take no action or discussion on any item not appearing on the posted agenda, except as authorized by law. Individual speakers are allowed 3 minutes to address the board on each non-agenda item. Speakers are not permitted to yield their time to another person. Pardon me? The board limits the total time for public input on each item to 20 minutes. Ms. Cooper, do we have any public comments at this time?
Yes.
Thank you.
Marty Emerald.
There we go. We're turned on. I'm here this evening to share with you an event that I've been planning with some very special people in the community, Lions International and the San Diego County Optometric Society. We will be here each month during the bulk of the school year doing vision testing on our students. We know that so many kids come into school and have never had a vision test, don't understand the context of it because they don't know what good vision is and what clear vision is and what it's not. I came and chatted with Dr. Espinosa, and your assistant superintendent, Mr. Bevilacqua, earlier in the year. And we decided this is the time and this is the place to start screening our children here in the South Bay School District. And we're going to start right here in this building. We will be meeting tomorrow with our nurses. We will have optometrists here, members of the Lions organization, and we'll start our planning. We intend to begin testing on August 12th, just so you know, and we'll begin with our little ones, our kindergartners and our children in the ACE program. We have Lions International members from throughout the county coming in with special equipment, state-of-the-art equipment, so we can tell within seconds if there's a vision problem and if that can be corrected with just regular glasses. We are working with the VSP insurance organization to get deep discounts for eyeglasses for families that don't have enough money to buy glasses for their kids. Right now, we're doing some handling, I gotta tell you. I want them paid for 100%. VSP is talking 80% right now, so you know, if you know anybody who could twist some arms, please join in. But we'll be here beginning tomorrow. Our nurses are all coming in. I know Dr. Espinoza, Mr. Bevilacqua will be here, and we're going to start planning for this very special event. What brought us here? As a new member, new-ish member on the Sweetwater Board, I know that the district has been working to find ways of bringing up test scores. And I have a belief, and it's not really grounded on a whole lot, except for some anecdotal stories about young people who don't, well, first, kids don't know if their eyes are working right because they don't have context. And so they go through school and maybe they don't do so well, and maybe they get discouraged or they're held back. And so they don't do as well as they could if their eyes were working right, if they had corrective lenses. And I think this is a great approach. Let's get kids while they're young, do the testing, which is free, glasses, which will be hopefully free, but almost free for the kids who come through this program. We know you got close to 5,000 students in the district, and if we can get every one of them, we will. We are going to be sending out, actually handing letters, permission slips to kids to take home to their parents as soon as school starts. And we need to get those permission slips signed and back to us so we can schedule testing. Only the kids who have the permission slip signed can get this testing done. So it's really incumbent on everybody here in the district to encourage parents to sign those slips and get them in. We're presenting slips in English and in Spanish. And I have left some brochures about the work of Lions and the Optometric Society on the table in the back, both in Spanish and in English. The permission slips, by the way, are in Spanish and English as well. We don't want anybody to be left out because we're not speaking in the proper languages. So this is something we're starting actually tomorrow. The nurses, management here at the district, we're all going to be meeting and planning. And then come August 12th, we'll be in the classrooms. In November, we actually bring the National Lions Organization. I know, I
The
don't
bell's
do
ringing.
this. We'll bring the Lions national bus in to look at kids who have some diagnoses that are just beyond what can be helped with corrective lenses. Thank you for the extra time,
Thank you.
and
so
thanks
much.
for all you do.
Thank you.
All right.
Perfect.
Roxanne Palestino.
Good evening, South Bay parent community, board members, district personnel, and Superintendent Ms. Espinosa. Very nice to see everyone. I'm here today to address an important matter concerning the Community Advisory Committee, CAC. As many of you know, the CAC plays a crucial role in shaping and improving our special education programs, ensuring that every student receives the support and resources they need to succeed. As a very involved special needs parent in the South Bay area, I'm kindly asking this Board of Education to collaborate with the parents in the appointing of a special education teacher for the crucial committee. There is still an open seat for special education teacher on the CAC. This position is vital as it allows us to have direct voice and perspective from those who work closely with our students with special needs. The insights and expertise that a special education teacher brings to the committee are invaluable, guiding our decisions and policies to better serve our community. The governing board must appoint a special education teacher to this open position. We have sent letters, attended board meetings, and superintendent meetings. You have appointed the parent member, but we still need this special education teacher position filled. The CAC was supposed to be up and running by May. It is now almost August. We need a special education teacher who is committed to the values and goals of our committee. We all know you have an amazing group of special education teachers who can fill that seat. We encourage any special education teacher from South Bay who is passionate about making a difference and has a deep understanding of the challenges and opportunities in special education to apply for this role. Your voice is needed and your contributions can help us create a more inclusive and supportive environment for all of our students. Thank you for your attention to this matter. The new school year is upon us, and we look forward to welcoming a new member to our CAC who will help us continue our mission of excellence in special education. Additionally, I want to remind parents that there will be 3 available seats for governing board members here in South Bay, in area 3, 4, and 5. I encourage this parent community to get involved and run for these open seats. You have until August 9th to fill all paperwork needed. I am pleased to announce the candidacy of my friend and ally, Kenya Peraza, for school board of the San Isidro Elementary School District. Kenya and I have attended and advocated at school board meetings since December of last year. We are committed to changing and improving our education system. We are asking for donations for her campaign with the goal of carrying out a renewed and hope-filled vision for our community. We want to inspire more parents to get involved and run for these open seats. We are here to help you throughout the process. Your support and collaboration are crucial to building a better future for our children and our community. We are willing to do whatever it takes to make the change for the best. Thank you.
Thank you for your public comment. Superintendent, could you follow up on a Friday update where we are in hopes that we can get a special teacher, a volunteer there? Thank you, Superintendent. Go ahead, Ms. Cooper.
Kenia Peraza.
Hi. Hello, board members, Mr. Espinosa. My name is Kenia Peraza. I am a parent of a group that has been advocating for special education kids in the whole South Bay County. And as my friend Roxanne said, we're here to encourage to appoint a special education teacher or educator to complete the CAC committee, which for those who don't know, like they didn't know in my district, the CAC is the Community Advisory Committee, which is in alliance with SELPA, Special Education Local Plan Area. You can find everything in the website about it. And this committee is very important and is one of the essential groups that will help thrive our special education kids. If you have been having a lot of troubles or problems regarding special education, this is part of it. This is part of the problem, that we don't have a CAC here in the whole South Bay County. So as we asked in our district in San Isidro, and we were since December asking for our representatives, we're asking to you to also have this appointee. And this is the only committee where parents can actually have a voice for our kids. And this is where we're actually going to see some improvement. And a lot of our problems, a lot of the problems that our special education kids have right now, that could be slowly, it can get better. And So principals, educators, please, we encourage you to go into this website and check it out and just see what your district needs from you to be part of this CAC. And yes, that's exactly what we need right now. A lot of counties already have their CAC, like the Northern County. They have a really great CAC, and we will like to have the same thing as they do, a successful committee for our special education kids. And if you have friends or colleagues in the area of Chula Vista or Coronado, please encourage them as well, because those districts also need to have their representatives so we can finally have that CAC. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sarah Boyer.
Good evening. I'm here today with several other members to introduce you to the Imperial Beach Collaborative. The collaborative's mission is to engage the community of Imperial Beach in an effort to share information and coordinate activities that focus on health, safety, education, and wellness. We're a little bit different than some of the other collaboratives in the region, that we don't run any specific programs, but rather we promote community partnerships. And working together, some of our recent accomplishments have included a fentanyl conference in Spanish that was held at the Boys and Girls Club in order to educate parents on the dangers of fentanyl and how they can help protect our young people. We had a naloxone training for our members so that in the event that someone should ever encounter someone experiencing an overdose, they would be prepared and equipped to save a life. We had a training on work being done in the community to help prevent DUIs. And we also had a community focus group to provide input into UC San Diego Health's new mobile unit and help them to serve the community to the best of their ability. We meet at 9 o'clock on the third Friday of every month at the Boys and Girls Club. And our goal is to provide the community with a place to connect, share resources, and receive support. Some of our members are the Boys and Girls Club, Suncoast Market Co-op, the Imperial Beach Library, the Imperial Beach Arts Bureau, UC San Diego Health, YMCA Camp Surf, Say San Diego, and the Institute for Public Strategies. So these members provide a variety of youth programs and resources for students. So we'd like to invite you to send a representative to attend and work with us. Your input would be really valuable to us, and we'd like to help connect the district to more beneficial resources for students and families. The next meeting is August 16th, and I've left some flyers in the back with our contact information. And thank you very much.
Summer Genghis.
So happy to have a podium I can see over. Good evening. My name is Summer Gergis. I am a community member interested, much like my fellow community members, in promoting the South Bay Union School District's implementation of and participation with the local CAC, that's Community Advisory Committee for Special Education. Tonight, just 3 points. I'm here to urge you to promote the vacant seats among your special education teachers, the vacant seat for CAC. Please promote that among teachers that desire to collaborate on and improve special education programming. I know that many of our special education teachers are also parents of students within the district and community, and would have a large and well-received voice within the CAC group. I urge you to have a special education district decision maker attend the CAC meetings, as many of the northern CAC groups do. They will learn from and hopefully collaborate with the group. And finally, I urge you to promote the CAC for special education meetings so that parents of students within your district, students with disabilities, parents of students with disabilities, parents of general education students, and various other community members have access to their legal right to participate and represent their needs and concerns. Thank you very much.
That was the last comment.
Thank you, everyone, for your public comments this evening. Thank you, Ms. Cooper, for your help. We're moving on to business services, number 6. And we're going to go to 1D. I'm going to try to bring it up here. That would be governance documents. Trustees, I pulled the lot of this in that in reading the agenda when it's posted after Friday does not allow time to have a discussion with the superintendent when I sit with him to review the agenda before it's posted to the public. And so when a president sits with the superintendent, it's just paper for those that don't know. So the president can't see what's behind the document. So when things are published on Friday, that's when we all see, just like the public does. And so in my review of item D, governance documents, there are a few, well, there's several areas in which we need to revisit. So at this time, I move to table the governance documents to our next study session. I believe that's in September. And so we can review what we agreed on and review the language before we vote on it this evening. So that is my motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Oh, any discussion?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. It's a very short time to just go through all the documents and just make sure we do the right thing.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we have a motion and a second. We'll call for the vote.
Esparza,
Yes.
Biker,
Yes.
Lopez Aguino,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Quinones.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you, trustees. We're moving on to now item A in business services, resolution 23-048. At this time, I'd like to recognize Assistant Superintendent Rigo Lara, and we will be conducting a public hearing. He's going to go ahead and introduce the item, the resolution 23-048. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Good evening, President Quinones, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Espinosa, staff and community. Tonight, we will be asking you to adopt 2 resolutions. One is to slightly increase developer fees, and the second is a notice of a CEQA exemption. CEQA is the California Environment Quality Act, and that is just letting the public know that the action we're taking does not have an environmental impact on the public. So that's why there's 2 resolutions. Ed Code authorizes school districts to collect fees to mitigate the impact of new development on enrollment. The rates are adjusted every 2 years, and that's through the state. In order to obtain a building permit, a developer must first collect fees from a school district before the city then issues the permit. The total fee per square foot has increased to, and you don't see that there, but the total fee has increased to $5.17 and 84 cents. Under our agreement with Sweetwater, we are entitled, our share is, as you see there, $2.27 per square foot for residential development and 37 cents per square foot for commercial development. This is just a quick kind of timeline of how the process of collecting the fees and then issuing the permit. It obviously starts with a developer, whether it's residential or commercial, who goes to the city and the city reviews the blueprints, the plans, and calculates the square footage, then provides a form to the developer who then comes to the district. As the district, we calculate the fees and we receive payment from the developer. We then do our part from on the form, which is then returned to the city where the city reviews it and then issues the permit. Oh, wow. It's blue on my end. Sorry about that. Hopefully your copies have a little better image than that. It shows the revenue that we've collected over the last few years. If you remember, last year we did a study. I did say that the fees are adjusted every 2 years, so that's really when you're supposed to do a study. But we had not done one since 2018. So we were missing out on a lot of revenue. And you can see from doing it last year that the district that we benefited by an increase of almost $240,000 in just 1 year. So really important for the district to keep up and stay current with the fees. Also keeps us from spending from the unrestricted and our unrestricted funds when we're able to use these funds. And how we are able to spend them under Fund 25, it's really, it's the facility improvements. We can build or modernize schools. It's also for portables, but also the removal of portables can be used depending on what we do after that. We are impacted with the universal TK new expectations. So if there's infrastructure needed there, these potentially we could use these fees to make those improvements as well. Any questions before we ask to take action? Again, 2 resolutions, but it doesn't mean we're imposing the fees twice or anything. It's really that second one is just the notice of exemption that there is an environmental impact on the public by taking this action.
For clarification, we're talking together A and B when you say 2 resolutions.
So I think you will discuss A first,
Right.
then take action. I will step back, be called back up, but I will not present again because it's the same information.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing to order. The time is 6:41. Are there any public comments this evening?
No.
Any comments or questions from the board? Kelly?
So we are, these funds are the same that we share with Sweetwater, right? And so even if we didn't raise our part of the fees, the total would still be raised. We would just get a smaller chunk.
Thank you for asking that. Actually, I did want to address that piece. So if we were to not charge these fees or increase them, Sweetwater could potentially then have the increased revenue that we are not benefiting from. Yes. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So we want to take advantage of of what is available to us. Again, we do have an agreement with Sweetwater, but if they were to see that their share could be increased, they could potentially pursue that.
So they haven't voted on to raise it yet.
I'm not aware right
To
now.
agree on that.
I'm not aware right now of what action they've taken. I know that we will let them know that we've made these changes. I could follow up on what happens after we inform them, though. I could find out what the next steps usually are. Any other questions?
Okay, any other questions or comments? Well, I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing. It is 7:43. I want to thank you for your work and keeping up on this, and that every 2 years sounds right, and especially developers that are coming into our community. We want to be up on that, and we're not going to wait for Sweetwater. So thank you for your timeliness there. Okay, I move to accept the, let's see here. Move to adopt the resolution 23-048 and approve an increase in the level 1 statutory school facilities fees imposed on residential and commercial / industrial construction pursuant to Ed Code Section 17620 and Government Code Section 65995. Do I have a second? Second. All righty. Do the roll call. I don't know why I want to say. Go, Ms. Cooper.
Esparza,
Yes.
Liker,
Yes.
Lopez Aguino,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Quinones.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. We're going to go on to item B. Recognize again our Assistant Superintendent Regalara, who will introduce the item And our mission tonight again would be to adopt resolution 24-001. Thank you for joining us again.
The second resolution is the notice of CEQA exemption, and we are informing the public that the action we're taking does not have an environmental impact on the public.
I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing and call it to order at 6:45. Any public comments?
No.
Okay, hearing none. Any board members have any comments or questions? Nope, hearing none. I move to approve the increase in level 1 statutory school facilities fees imposed on residential and commercial industrial construction pursuant to Ed Code Section 17620 and Government Code Section 65995. Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. We'll call for the vote.
Esparza,
Yes.
Biker,
Yes.
Lopez Aguino,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Quinones.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you again for your work. Well, moving on really quick tonight. Item under discussion action items, item C. I'd like to welcome again our Assistant Superintendent Regalara, who is going to introduce the item of Citizen Bond Oversight Committee Annual Report. Thank you.
Good evening again, President Quinones, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Espinosa, staff and community. Since the start of the district's building program with Measure X in 2008, the district has completed numerous projects to renovate and modernize classrooms, restrooms, and other school facilities. To assure the community that bond funds are used as outlined in the district's resolution, the district must establish a Citizens Bond Oversight Committee. An annual report is required from the committee to the board and community for compliance with Proposition 39. And at this time, I'd like to welcome committee member and parent Shane Hoffus, who will present the annual report. He will share a bit of a couple of the projects that we did last year. Not all of them. We'll be here a much longer time, but a few of the projects that we've worked on last year and a little bit of his work on the committee. Shane.
Welcome.
Thank you. The Citizens Bond Oversight Committee is pleased to present the annual report for the building program. Pleased to present that we are in compliance. All expenditures are used for construction, reconstruction, rehabilitation for the facilities. The expenditures are not used for teacher administrative salaries or operating expenses. And it is only for the specific projects that are listed as well. Independent audits are conducted and in favorable opinion. So we can get a visual here of some of the projects that happen in the district. Really exciting to see the progress that is made. A couple of playgrounds in Imperial Beach Charter, Sunny Slope Elementary, and removal of portables at Imperial Beach Charter and Sunny Slope. Playground asphalt upgrades, hence, and safety and security measures in video surveillance and access control that are projects in progress. We continue to look forward to the positive impacts that these projects have on the facilities and our students. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you so much. And you are a volunteer
Yeah, absolutely.
of the community.
Yeah.
Thank you for volunteering. This is very important work. Trustees, any questions or comments? Manny?
So I have a question. On those remove the portables, did you guys demolish those portables or they moved in somewhere else?
Sorry, that's not the role that we play. We play the oversight of the compliance of the use of the
Gotcha.
funds. Yeah, but he can answer.
Go ahead.
They are destroyed, and I know there's some testing that needs to be conducted. But then we need to then dispose of the materials, and that cannot happen in California. We do have to pay for that to happen in another state, which I believe is Arizona, that accepts this material that's not allowed here. So they are destroyed. At In the past, when a school was in need of a classroom or a portable for some reason, and if the portable was in good condition, we have moved them to other locations within the district. But at this time, with the direction of the board to put kids in classrooms and out of portables, and as their lifespan is coming to an end after several decades, we are getting rid of them and disposing of them.
Yeah, and the reason I asked is because it could have some revenue if we just, sell them to somebody else, just trying to get some profit from it.
Yeah, and when they're in the condition to be able to, I know that we have reached out to other districts sometimes to see if they would like to, if they were in need of some. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. In addition to scrapping the portable, there's also things on the portable that we can recycle. And we do that too. So I think that district, we're looking for any ways that we can save money or earn money in any ways to help our schools. So on that note, do I have a motion to approve the, let's see here, approve the 2023-24 Citizens Bond Oversight Committee Annual Report?
I move to approve the 2023-2024 Citizen Bond Oversight Committee Annual Report.
Is there a second?
I second.
Rick, call for the vote.
Esparza,
Yes.
Liker,
Yes.
Lopez Aguino,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Quinones.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Again, thank you for, please tell the committee, thank you. The board sends greetings. Thank you. Hey, we're going to go ahead and fast forward to the last of the business services, W. Pulled from consent. Memorandum of Understanding, Southwest Teachers Association. Trustees, I pulled this item and it just specifically this item, which is the MOU dual language MOU. I would like to send this back to closed session so we can have a discussion. So I move to pull that item and move to closed session, and when the district can make that arrangement, that would be great. May I have a second?
Second.
Okay, we had a motion and a second. Any question? We really can't talk about it because it's negotiations. That's why we move it to closed session. Yeah.
So it doesn't affect anything that would be, like, we're not stopping anything that needs to be happening now by moving it. Okay, thank you for clarification.
Yeah. We'll call for the vote.
Sorry, do you mind sharing again, like a brief explanation of?
I can't hear you.
Oh, can you explain again why you're asking to move it to closed session?
Because it's a negotiated item. I want to bring it to closed session so we can have a discussion about it. It's in consent. We can't have a discussion about it unless we pull the item, and we can't discuss that.
Let me ask Assistant Superintendent Griffith if she could give us a overview of that process.
Thank you, Superintendent. That'd be helpful.
Yes, at this time, it is public information. So our understanding is either you're approving the consent item or you're putting it up for discussion publicly because it is a public item that's been negotiated. So it wouldn't go back to closed session. You still have, the right to either approve or not approve or discuss the item because you moved it to discussion action.
Thank you. Exactly what we needed. So we'll go ahead and bring up, if you would, trustees W, and that would be regarding the dual language program. What I wanted to talk with you about, and thank you, Melissa, for clarifying that, this is proper work. So I just want to draw your attention down to, let's see, the 1, 2, 3, the third paragraph from the bottom. It says, at Nestor, teachers shall receive an annual stipend of $1,500 beginning 23-24 school year. I don't have a problem with that sentence. At other sites, the district shall provide roster teachers in dual language programs and annual stipend again of $1,500 beginning the same language of 23-24 school year. Trustees, I listened to Vanessa's public comment tonight and wanting us to uplift everyone who can possibly uplift and recognizing their work in the dual language program. All teachers that teach dual language. So my thoughts here are that that sentence there at Nestor teachers should be changed to all teachers who teach dual language program shall receive. Melissa?
I can clarify. Nestor, the entire campus is a dual language school. Therefore, that means every teacher that's teaching at Nestor is receiving the stipend.
Yeah.
Our other programs are not entire campuses that offer dual language. So for example, Sunny Slope and or Nikolov, they have threads of dual language. So those teachers that are teaching dual language at those sites, that stipend does apply to them.
Yes, I just want them to be lifted at the same level as Nestor teachers. And in our district that we recognize their work as a whole. And that is my purpose for pulling this item, that every teacher that teaches a dual language should be recognized as all, not separated out as it is here.
Is it separated because of the charter? Like, does it
Correct.
have
It's
to-
it's
so it
separated for a
has to have
couple of
separate-
reasons.
It has to be individualized because it
it's-
has its own.
It's two
calories
reasons.
cap.
The entire campus of Nestor, that is their area of focus, the entire school. Our other campuses, let's say there's another campus at some point over the course of the next 10 years, becomes a dual language thread, or let's say it's Oneonta. I'm going to give a random example. If we call out every school name, that could change over the years. So we're looking at how this is applicable for current practice. And currently we have 2 sites that have other types of programs other than dual language at those campuses, which is Sunny Slope and Nikolai. So I don't know if I'm understanding the question correctly, but I think the clarification is whether or not we have dual language teachers that are teaching at the other campuses, whether or not those campuses are acknowledged in this MOU.
Exactly. I want everybody to be acknowledged equally. And we do have dual language programs. At this time, 3 sites. And so to single one site out over another, I'm just looking at equity and inclusion. And that is the purpose for me to pull this item tonight, is to include all teachers that teach dual language programs in our district and be recognized as a whole every day.
Yes, and if I could just add a couple of points here. First and foremost, this is an item that's already been negotiated. Okay, we already approved this. We are approving it again for the next year. So we've already negotiated this item. So it's already, this is done, right? So I think that's important. The other point I think that really needs to be understood is that we have different types of programs in our district. And that's why Nestor is called out specifically in theirs, like Melissa has explained. And then the other 2 programs, Sunny Slope and Nikolov, are not entire school programs. They are a thread within the school, right? They're a program within the school. And so that's why they're not being called out that way. And if we had another program at a different school, this would cover them as well. But I also want to ensure that the board knows that all teachers that are in the dual language program are receiving the stipend. That is one of the things that was negotiated by the teams. They actually received 2 stipends. All teachers that have a BCLAD receive a stipend for having a BCLAD. It's $1,500 stipend for having a BCLAD. They don't have to be in the program just for having the BCLAD. Now, if you also work in the program, you receive the $1,500 stipend that is being discussed here. So actually, if you're a teacher that has a BCLAD, which a lot of the teachers at Nestor have BCLADs, they receive $1,500 for their BCLAD, $1,500 for being in the program. If you are a teacher at Nikolov that's in the 50-50 model, there are some teachers in the 50-50 model that do not have to have a BCLAD. So they don't receive a $1,500 BCLAD stipend, but they do receive a stipend for being in the program. So that's how the stipends are working. So all teachers are recognized. It's just the way that the programs are, the way they're structured, and which is why the language is the way it's written.
Thank you, Superintendent, for that clarification. And any more questions or comments? Okay, I am going to renew my motion and retract the first motion and say, please, I'll move to accept. What number was that? W as presented this evening. Thank you, Superintendent, for your help. And on that, we'll ask for a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call for the vote.
Esparza,
Yes.
Liker,
Yes.
Lopez Aguino,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Quinones.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you for the discussion. That was great. Moving on to the number 7 consent calendar. All matters listed in the consent calendar will be enacted in one motion in the form listed below. Prior to the approval of the meeting agenda, there was an opportunity to request placing consent items in the discussion action section of the board meeting. There will be no discussion on these items prior to the board vote. The superintendent and staff recommend approval, adoption, ratification, acceptance of all consent calendar items unless otherwise noted. May I have a motion?
I move to approve all items on the consent calendar as listed, including the superintendent's recommendations for denial or approval of leaves of absence.
May we have a second?
I second.
Perfect. We have a motion and a second, and please note for the record, trustee Jose has left the room.
Esparza,
Yes.
Liker,
Yes.
Lopez Aguino, Medina, Quinones.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0 with 1 absent.
Moving on, we're making progress tonight. Moving on to future agenda items. At this time, each trustee may suggest one topic for a future board meeting. Do we have any requests at this time? Randy?
So at the last couple of meetings, I did request to the superintendent and to the board members a comprehensive report for our school structures to be secured, talking about any of the security features that, all the educational buildings be secured. I did receive a comprehensive assessment, although there's quite a few schools that needs to be completed. So I just want to ask the superintendent, do you know the completion date when that's going to happen?
Well, that's a
So
new
we can-
item, a
we can
board
have that.
item.
I'm sorry?
This is an area where you can suggest a board item for a future board
So-
meeting. So we
so
can't
that-
have a
so-
discussion, we just request.
Correct. So we can discuss, not discuss, but just come up to see if we can come up with a completion date on that item.
Okay, so you're asking for a presentation from the district regarding safety?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Superintendent. Thank you. Any other request? Janet?
I would like to request on a Friday update, if possible, for the blue screen protectors for school sites for computers and iPads that I requested last year.
What is it? I can't-
The blue screen protectors for students on iPads and Chromebooks.
You want a Friday update on
Yeah,
that?
a Friday
She
update.
just wants a Friday update on where we are with that. Thank you, Superintendent. Kelly? No? I do have a request for a future board item. We do have a communication officer now, and her job will be to communicate with the public, written. And my request is that Superintendent, that the board be presented with a year calendar and how the district is going to go about with the communication. Thank you, Superintendent. Moving on to future agenda items, follow up. I'd like to recognize our Superintendent Espinoza and provide on direction, on next steps, on future agenda items from the June 20th meeting, regular board meeting. Superintendent?
Thank you very much, President Quinones. The item that was here was an update on collaboration with Sweetwater Union School District regarding student volunteers, youth community service hours, et cetera. And tonight, the board did approve in the consent calendar, they did approve an agreement with Sweetwater on a cross-age tutoring program. So I don't know if that's enough for that or, okay, perfect.
Thank you, Superintendent. Congratulations on that agreement. It's good when we can collaborate. Thank you so much. Moving on to communications from the Board of Trustees. We have a 3-minute per trustee. We'll start at the end of our row here, Annie.
Thank you for coming in this evening, and thank you every school site and management for the hard work that you guys did to give a warming welcoming to our schools and our school sites. Thank you.
Yes, welcome back, everyone. I feel like we're starting off on a positive foot, which I absolutely love. I'm feeling hopeful. I know my 2 little ones today, one of them, it was their second day of 2nd grade. And apparently that's something they like take a picture of. And my older one, her picture's still in the fridge. So there's lots of positive energy surrounding the school year. So I hope it continues with our littles and our bigs and everyone involved so that we can keep doing the best for our students and families. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Great report out, trustees. I'd like to also report out that I did attend the kickoff on Friday and plan on attending the community kickoff. But Fridays, for those that were there, it just sent chills throughout the whole audience. I could see the teachers that were so excited, both at 8:30 and at 10:30. Our speaker, Consuelo Kickbush was her name, and I looked her up. She's something. So I applaud the superintendent and the district for giving us that kickoff event. It did inspire me, and I hope that we carry that message throughout the year. Kids matter, and where they come from matters. I want to thank CSEA for joining us this evening, reporting out. It's great news. I want to share that SWATA president said some excellent words tonight to remind us that We need to uplift everyone and name everyone and appreciate everyone. So thank you. Thank you for coming tonight, Vanessa. I want to thank Marty Emerald for joining us this evening. It's not often that she joins us, but it's a worthy cause and one that district hasn't done for at least 20 years. And so thank you, Superintendent, for partnering because she is doing this in her district and she's our representative and she's bringing it home to us. And I really do appreciate our kids and I'm thankful to all the nurses for joining this cause. It's extra. So thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the parents that come and speak to us about the Community Advisory Committee. It's important. Please, teachers, hear our call. Superintendent, hear our call. With that, I'd like to adjourn the meeting if there is no other comments. Nope. Well, we get out of here early, 7:10.